Will this be the last good Vegas Grand Prix? Let's discuss. Hello and welcome back to the Fastest Podcast. I'm your host Jazz, and today I have with me Pigeon.
Hi.
Hi. It is Vegas week. Some people love it, some people hate it, and as we're heading into the end of the season, honestly, I could do with the drama of it. So it's grown on me over the last few years. I'll take it. I'll take it over some other tracks on the calendar this year. But it is not really a fan favorite. So I think today we'll talk about that a little bit.
I mean, it's a pig. It's an upside down pig.
I love pigs.
Yeah, that's not the issue though.
I mean, okay, let's look at the last two races, the only two races that we've got on file really to reference from. It has delivered, maybe more than anyone could have possibly expected it to. Now, that's not to say it is in any way some kind of iconic, um, historical potential track. No, it's just very, very good for DRS.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna rename it to anything, it should be the DRS Grand Prix because that's all it is. It's basically Monza but without the chicanes, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
it. We've seen overtakes, we've seen battles, and we haven't seen that in some tracks this year. But they've all been because of DRS or because of amazing wheel-to-wheel racing, like we saw with Leclerc last year, Leclerc v Perez. Um, so yeah, it's mostly just DRS pressure or whatever you want to call it. Um, but it has provided some good races, and for the first time in a couple of years, or since the event began, we finally have a championship fight going into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Previous times it was either decided or on the verge of being decided. So, yeah.
yeah, yes, and this weekend really could throw a spanner in the works for not only Lando Norris but McLaren as a whole. Um, we will touch on McLaren. We have to, of course. But first, maybe let's look a little bit into why this could be the last good race in Vegas. Now, next year, as we head into the 2026 era of regulations, we lose DRS and it gets replaced by what are we calling it now? Are we just straight up calling
Mom.
it mum? Are we just straight up,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Until we have the final announcement of what they're going to call it, we will be using Mom because it is both funny and accurate. So, yeah,
Yes. MOM doesn't really roll off the tongue, does
it
it?
really does not. No.
It really doesn't. Um, do you want to take us through a little bit about the difference between DRS and mum?
Yeah, I can. So with
Just brief,
DRS,
just brief.
if you're not aware, DRS it works like this: you have a gigantic flap on the back of your car. If you are in a race within a second of your competitor on the racetrack, you can at some points of the track open that flap, and you get less DRS on the main straight. That's why it's called drag reduction system. So you can use that in a race to gain on your competitor, and it's pretty powerful. We've seen most of the overtakes this year being done with DRS. It's actually really a special occasion when you don't use DRS to overtake these days. So yeah, that's what DRS is, and it's been known to create some racing over the years. Teams have gotten to rely on it pretty heavily. Next year, it's gone, not returning. It's finito, and we get Mom instead, which is essentially a little bit of the same mechanism. In some areas of the track, you can use this system to gain on your opponent. It will be, I think it's the flexi wings. Yeah, basically what they've been trying to stop all these years, flex wings, they're now implementing it onto the cars. And I think it's about the same system when if you're close enough that you can use it. Cars are going to be faster on the straights, slower on in the corners, with the extra electrical power next season. Um, so yeah, we'll have to see how it looks like and if we're going to get any good racing. God, I hope so, because I can't handle another 2025 qualifying championship, because it's, yeah.
I can't
Racing
do this
hasn't been good
again.
this season.
I mean, it's definitely had its moments, but as you say, it has predominantly been a bit of a qualifying championship. I think, especially the first half of the system, I think maybe season, we've seen a little bit less maybe over the last kind of since the summer break. I'd say it's improved. We've seen some more kind of interesting wheel to wheel stuff happening, but yeah, DRS has been a big component of the last God knows how long. So it will be interesting to see
I mean,
how.
10 years, 10 years, I believe.
Yeah. What are we gonna do without it?
I mean, okay, so in previous year, if you look at 2022, start of the ground effect era, DRS was pretty powerful, drag was low, everyone was generating their ground downforce. And you saw a lot of overtakes happening at every part of the track because there wasn't that much drag. Over the years, drag has been significantly increased on the cars. So we've come to a point where even if you have DRS, you get so much dirty air from the car in front of you that the DRS basically just cancels it out. And that's what has annoyed drivers, fans, everyone this season, because we haven't seen any overtakes. And the only way you can get ahead of your rival is with three basic rules, which is safety cars, red flags, or rain, or
the
pit
Holy
stops.
Trinity.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and I mean the exceptions have been Brazil and Mexico this season, which were the two previous races where they were pretty good. Um, but yeah, it's we just need to get these three races out of the way, and hopefully we get some better cars then. So yeah.
yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see next year how certain tracks kind of work with the new regulations because, as we say, somewhere like Vegas is very DRS dependent. So we might be getting in 2026 what we were worried we were getting in 2023 in Vegas. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on and
And
to think
I
about
mean,
when we see the new regulations come in.
the same goes for Miami as well, because they built
Mm.
both tracks based on DRS. It's super long straights with then a little bit of couple of corners and then another really long straight. So yeah, if DRS is not going to be making a difference, or if Mom isn't going to make a difference, it's just going to be really boring straights, which no one wants to see. I mean,
Could they
yeah.
not have come up with the better name? The best minds in the world, and they
I mean, it stands for manual override mode. Yeah, I mean,
manual override system.
Moss.
Anything else? Moss is better than. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, which is, of course, the upcoming Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, we briefly touched on it, but now let's really get into it. McLaren could be in a bit of hot water this weekend. Oh no! So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out on track. Obviously, now we have Norris. He's 24 points now ahead of Piastri.
29, I believe.
29? A whole race win? I thought he was. I
Yeah,
didn't think he was a whole.
he's a full race win ahead, I believe.
I thought he was still
Let me
slightly a race win down.
quickly check my facts here because I don't want to get cancelled on that one. Drivers' Championship. It's 24 points. 24.
I mean, I wish it was 29 points, but here we are. It's not been a particularly successful track for McLaren since it made its debut in 2023.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not been very kind to either driver. Norris
Norris DNF'd in
Nearest
2023 with that.
DNF.
It was a pretty weird DNF as well.
It was quite a nasty crash, I think, because
Yeah,
obviously we saw the issue that the uneven surface of the track
potholes.
provided. Potholes. Just one of many issues that we've kind of seen with the logistics and the layout of the circuit.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sainz had that massive uh, run in, shall we say, with
Run
the
over.
yeah, with the manhole cover, which caused over $1 million worth of damage to the
I mean,
car.
it's the
Which,
floor. If you break the floor, then you're done. So yeah,
yeah, it's quite an important feature of a Formula One car. Um,
especially in the ground effect era.
yes. And I mean, Ferrari still had to pay for that damage, even though track officials should have really made sure that was welded shut beforehand. Um, but we've seen other issues as well in Vegas due to the track surface. And Norris, I think it was half driver error, half the uneven surface. I think
I
if I
mean,
remember
yeah,
correctly.
it was a weird crash in it on its own. I
Mm.
must say, even for a crash, it looked spectacular. With under the lights, with all the sparks, it looked spectacular. Of course, he's fine, and but it did look really amazing. Um,
I mean, it was definitely something. He was a bit banged up from that as well. He had to get airlifted out of there. He went to the hospital. But he's fine. Piastri also has just struggled really on the circuit. It's
yeah,
not been a particularly
P10 and
competitive.
P7, I believe. Uh,
Yeah, which in
not
this
not
era of
great.
McLaren, it's not really results that we expect. So yeah, they haven't exactly got the best form around this track, and this year's car I don't think will be any different. It looks like as well. This could be one for Verstappen, and it could be one for Mercedes fans to really keep an eye on. Verstappen, because as Pigeon said, this circuit is Monza without the chicanes, and we saw a nice little bit of dominance from Max in Monza this season. So it's more than likely that Red Bull will adopt a similar setup again um, that they used at the Italian Grand Prix. And Mercedes, it's a weird one. We said at the beginning of the season, oh, that car really seems to come alive in the cold, which Vegas very much is. It's a chilly old place to be at this time of year.
I mean, it's a night race, but in America, so
Yeah, I mean, you're
yeah.
out in the desert in the middle of the night. It's cold. That track surface is a difficult one to warm up. Um, so yeah, we at the beginning of the season we were going, oh, Mercedes, it seems to really work in the colder conditions. But this end of the season, it's worked pretty damn well in the warmer
I
climate
mean,
as well.
they almost got a podium in Bahrain, so that Mercedes has worked pretty well all season. It's just the middle of the season when it kind of dipped.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I think they went
I
wrong in an upgrade somewhere, but yeah,
Imola
I think
upgrades.
Mercedes are in the running for a podium at the remainder of every track this season.
Yes, I would say so. I'd like to clarify though, I didn't mean that they weren't solid everywhere. I meant more compared to other cars, their car
Yeah,
comes alive a lot more in the colder climates.
their window
So
is more in the lower temperatures.
yeah, exactly. So we could definitely see something from them. Kimi Antonelli had an incredible weekend in Brazil, finishing P2
All
just
round.
behind Norris. Yeah, in the sprint, in the race, I think in FP1 as well. Like
I
he
think he finished P2 in every session. Sprint sprint, quali, race, everywhere.
yeah.
So
So
and even holding off Max Verstappen, that's not a mean feat. So yeah,
yes, it looks like him and Verstappen could go racing again this weekend because yeah, I don't see a nice straightforward weekend for McLaren uh ahead of them. It's I think it's just going to be about, from Lando's side of the garage, it's going to be whatever happens, just stay ahead of Piastri. And of course, from Piastri's side of the garage, it's going to be just you have to capitalize as much as you can. It's a very inconvenient time in the current standings for Piastri to have to come to this circuit where McLaren are not known to be forming particularly well, because this is the point where he really needs to pull back some points against Lando. And I think this weekend is just going to be about surviving, maintaining the best positions they possibly can.
Yeah,
Mm.
personally, I think this will be a very interesting weekend for McLaren because they
Mm.
have been top all year long. Whether they win races or not, they have been quick. They have been there. I think Lando's only missed like 3 or 4 podiums with 2 DNFs or 3 DNFs. So that's encouraging. It's great from him. Piastri, I think he just needs to get onto the podium. He doesn't even need to think about a win. He just needs to get onto the podium, get his rhythm back. But it will be interesting to see how both of these drivers react when they. I'm not going to say won't have a shot at the win, but when they know they're coming in with some kind of handicap. They know that their car is not going to be the quickest around Las Vegas. So, yeah, I think it will be interesting to see the McLarens this week. How they handle with that knowledge and maybe some pressure from Ferrari this weekend. You never know.
Yeah, yeah,
But it really
Ferrari
also
have a
depends on how every driver drives this weekend. If Mercedes has an off weekend, everything's turned around. If Ferrari has a really good weekend, we saw it last year, they finished P3, P4. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend nonetheless. So, yeah.
yes, it would definitely, in that regard, be an interesting weekend. I think the thing now is Mercedes and Ferrari play a very, very big role in how this proceeds. I suppose it's maybe not really what either McLaren driver kind of wants or needs at this point in the season to come to a track like this. On the other hand, we've seen in recent races where Norris has won. He said, "I don't personally feel that we were the fastest in raw pace out on the track." So we can't write them off. We can't rule them out. They could very easily, absolutely demolish everyone else, and we're gonna go, we were wrong. But I just personally don't see it being a very smooth sailing weekend. I'm not saying that they can't win. I'm just saying it's not going to be a lights out lead.
It's not going to be in Mexico.
No, it's not going to be Mexico. Definitely not going to be Mexico.
But they will be in the running. They have a good car. They have good drivers. They have a good team behind them. So they're gonna have a shot. It's just how they execute this weekend that's gonna be crucial. If Piastri does come into the weekend with more pace, that's gonna be interesting. Because then it's about Norris minimizing the loss. If Norris
Yeah.
is on pace, then it won't matter anyways. But and this will be the first chance for Norris to eliminate Verstappen from contention. Mathematical contention, that is. If he scores 10 points more than Verstappen, then Verstappen is out of contention.
Hmm. I only see that happening if Verstappen suffers some kind of DNF.
I
I
mean, it's
I
it's a P1
really
versus a
don't.
P3. That's how it is. Norris
Yeah,
wins and
and
Verstappen P3s then.
I just don't. I really strongly do not feel that we will see McLaren ahead this weekend. I'm not saying they're going to be down in P19 and P20. I
Fighting
just really,
Alpines.
yeah, let's go. No, I don't see the vision this time out, I'm afraid. I've been pretty confident in both of them at most tracks this season, but there are some times that you kind of have to concede that hope.
Yeah.
I think this is Max's weekend to kind of lose, and McLaren just need to play the cling on and say a little prayer game, and see where it gets them, because they will obviously still be competitive. They're not going to be uncompetitive. I just don't think that their car is as suited to this track as the likes of Max Verstappen and the Mercedes drivers. And how Ferrari fit into that equation, I don't know. They probably don't know yet either. So
Yeah, I think
we
if you have to compare it to any other race this season, I think it's going to be a situation in Canada. This is one of those races where a podium is not guaranteed for either driver. They were close in
yeah
Canada. They were P4, P5. Um, I think they will really have to fight to get onto the podium.
yeah. I mean they were P4 and P5 and
They were P4 and P5. What they did afterwards, that's
hmm. Anyway, we've moved
moment of
on from that.
silence.
No, I think this weekend, yeah, you're right. It's a combination of Canada and I think Monza, because I think I'm really feeling the Max Verstappen vibes going into this,
I
and
mean,
I
I
think
would too. It's Max had a career low in Brazil qualifying, and then he had a career high in the race. So
exactly
he
never
has a
count him
new
out.
PU. I think they must be running it somewhat higher than they normally would with that new PU.
Yeah, might as
So
well
I
get the
think
most
Max
out
will
of
be
it.
the man to watch this weekend,
Yeah,
if they get the setup right. That is the main variable in this one. Setup remains to be very crucial in 2025, especially for qualifying and racing and whatnot.
like
So yeah,
the, to summarize my thoughts on this, let's put it like this: if what happened in Brazil to Max happened in this track, he would have won the race. That's my feeling. Like that's the only way I can sort of quantify how I feel now about going into this. I have never felt so confident in Max Verstappen, or no, so openly confident in Max Verstappen in my whole time as a Formula One fan. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I must add on that, like the pit lane to P3 feats. I think this year would only have been possible at Brazil. If you tried at any other circuit, that's not going to work. Because Brazil, you can really overtake not just in the DRS zones. You can try and shuffle a wheel in at turn 10 or turn 6. There are different spots on the track where you can overtake, and if you're confident enough, you're going to move ahead. If you would have tried pit lane to P3 in Mexico, you would not have made it.
No, gosh,
It's
no,
that easy.
no. I also think as well, part of Max's performance in Vegas, I think always just comes from the extreme loathing that he has for every single thing about that whole place. So I've
I
got
think he
faith.
might have some fond memories now.
Maybe, yeah. You
Might be
could say
clouded
that.
by gin and tonic dreams, but
Just a few. Um, but no, I mean, I think he said before the first race in 2023, I think he said 90% show or 99% show, maybe 1% sporting event. And he was right. So,
I feel like that's still true.
oh, it's still true,
But
definitely.
the race was better than expected,
For sure.
and
For
I
sure.
think it's still true. But that also just kind of strengthens our point. They have a lot of show, a lot of unnecessary show, where we as fans, as viewers, are like, well, they didn't have to, but they do it anyways. So yeah.
I think, yeah,
And then they did have a good race, and we all were kind of happy. And then we got to the podium ceremony, and everyone was back to like what is going on here with the cool down cars, and then the interviews at the Bellagio, and then we got to go back to the main straight for the the freaking podium ceremony. Yeah, but racing is proven to be possible there.
it's been proven. So let's just hope. Let's just hope for another bag of a race. We've had such a nice little run of really good, really enjoyable races, and I
Final
Vegas.
one.
If you can do one thing for me, lock in and deliver, because We need it. We need it before we go
But
down to
once
the
again,
wire.
not too good, but because they will make it the final race of the season if it is too
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Not too good, but
Make it
good.
great, but not legendary.
Exactly. I mean, in saying that, Abu Dhabi is the last race of the season. It's not that great, so I don't think that
Yeah,
qualifies
that's what I'm
as.
talking about. If it
Yeah.
is good, then they will replace it.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about some of the special liveries that we've got going in, because if there is a place to do it, you've kind of got to do it in Vegas. I think the latest one that we've seen is the V-Carb livery, which I think is delightful. Yeah,
Absolute banger.
this
It's
is
a
what we
sparkle
want.
holographic livery. I mean, it's gonna look
Mm.
great under the lights. So
The colors, everything about it is
yeah,
just perfect. This is what we as fans want from a special livery. And they've delivered. V-Carb, they do a good job at sort of fan service and knowing what people want to see.
I must say that the last one kind of was a little bit mid with the turtle livery. I don't know what they really tried to do with that one in Coda. But usually, if VCarb does special livery, it's a bagger. So, and then
Yeah,
once again, they
we'll let
delivered.
them off. We'll let
Yeah,
them off on the Coda situation. All I could see that whole weekend was just Cheetos. Like literally every time I looked at the the team, everything, those t-shirts, it was just like a Cheeto bag. But anyway,
yeah.
um,
The
Williams as
Sauber.
well.
Oh yeah.
Sauber. Oh, the Sauber one is a delight.
I think they're
Again,
gonna use a Sauber car to finish the race. If you haven't seen it yet, they put a checkered flag on their car.
and it's very, very nice and
It
artfully
looks
done.
nice. I
It
mean,
does look nice.
I think you can finally see that they have a different livery because usually it's just, yeah, our livery is green and black. And you're like, ah, well, isn't your normal livery green and black? Yeah, but we have a different configuration of it. Ah, so now they have some
Yeah,
white
thanks,
and some
guys.
black. So yeah, it's a new livery. It's to celebrate their final 3 races at Sauber before they turn into Audi next year. So yeah, it's a nice livery. They had a nice
Nice place
little
to debut that as well, with the little bit of flair for Vegas.
yeah
Um, Williams, I
Williams.
quite like it. It's
Yeah, it's gonna look good under the lights. So
again, that's kind of what they're going for now. It's all about looking good under the lights. Especially these last 3 races as well. It's kind of when you want your livery to really be popping. So yeah, another banger. We've also got some very special helmets this weekend. Both McLaren drivers, I know, have already revealed theirs. Piastri's one is just it's
I
just
haven't seen
nice.
Piastri's one yet. I did see Norris's one.
Norris's one is a
That one
masterpiece, which we will
looks great.
discuss.
You did forget a team though. Alpine also revealed their livery. They added some pink to the car. Which, if you don't know this, they already have a pink car. So yeah.
There's a reason it didn't come to mind.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought I'd mention it anyways.
no, fair enough, fair enough. You're right to mention it. That's my bad. But no, definitely look at the Piastri helmet because it's his first like RC car. Like it looks like the colorway and everything. It's very nice. And it's sentimental. Both McLaren drivers going for the sentimental vibe this weekend, which I think is special. Especially it's been such a monumental
Oh,
season.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing element. Yeah, I did see it. I forgot. That's an amazing element.
No, it's nice to see both of them doing something that's kind of meaningful. They've had such a great season between them, and whichever way this goes, it's been a great season for both of them. But yeah, Norris has won to celebrate his 150th Grand Prix. I thought we'd already had his 150th Grand Prix.
I mean, it's 7 years in F1. That's a pretty big deal as well. I
Yeah,
think he's now the most experienced McLaren driver, like the most races for
yeah.
McLaren. which has been his entire career so far. I hope he still gets many, many years with McLaren as well, because I do think that Norris and McLaren are inseparable at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what that doesn't make sense to me any other way. So I think he will. I think he'll stay there as long as it makes sense to stay there. But yeah, his helmet collaboration with an artist. Lots of little details on there, so definitely check that out too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if any other drivers have revealed
Not yet, but it's
official
early days
helmets yet.
anyways. It's
It's
still
early.
Tuesday, so
We are
we will keep
still
you up
in
to date
preview
on all
territory.
socials.
We will. We definitely will. Um, I mean, yeah, it's an important weekend that we've got coming up. It's a big one for the McLaren boys, definitely. Max really needs to go and capitalize, do the best that he can do to bring that gap down a little bit if he can. Um, Otherwise, the
I
dream
think
is over.
at this point, he's just enjoying his races.
Yeah, cause some
Yeah,
chaos. Just do the thing. See what happens. Um, but yeah, this like every other weekend this season is a big one for McLaren. So definitely keep an eye on that, and we will also be updating you, of course, through our social media. We also live tweet through the races, so that's also something to keep an eye out for if you're unable to watch a session live. Fastest Pit Stop Live, you can keep an eye, and we have got you covered. But yeah, between now and the race weekend, we are sure there will be plenty more things happening coming out. It's a busy week now in Vegas for everyone involved.
I mean, it always is.
It always is, but yeah, this weekend especially, there is a lot to gain and even more to lose for that top three who are still left in contention. Now, we could come out of this with some really interesting results, to be honest. That three could go down to two. That three could become even more tense. There are so many possible outcomes from this weekend. So definitely one to keep an eye out for. I think that's everything.
Yeah, we asked for some
Okay.
fan predictions, but they weren't all that good this week. No brave
Come on,
predictions.
guys.
I mean, we have a double McLaren DNF and a Bortoletto podium. I mean, Bortoletto podium, that's pretty brave, but we have one of those every week. So
Interesting.
Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton podium. Uh, and like I said, that PU from Max will be doing some work, putting some work in. So yeah, that's basically all the predictions we have for this week. So yeah, I think we already covered
What are
ours.
your
We
predictions?
I mean we already said what we predict. We predict Mercedes and Verstappen to be up there. There's no other way about it really. But I think it's going to be Russell v Verstappen this week.
Agree. What's your podium prediction? I'm going Verstappen, Russell, Norris.
Verstappen, Russell, Antonelli. He's on a roll. He's on a roll.
He's P4 in my version of events.
Yeah,
So
Norris is
he's up
somewhere
there.
down there.
Oh no.
P5,
Well,
P5.
no, I think Piastri will be P5
Yeah, fair.
just based on recent statistics. Um,
Who the hell rings the doorbell at 8 p.m. in the evening? Okay, I think that's it for today.
we stay keeping it real. That is the now. Yeah, that is everything for today. Thank you for joining us. And as I say, you can keep it up to date with everything going on at the Grand Prix and in the build up to it across our social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and whatever you call Twitter, as well as Threads and our website as well. So do keep an eye out. We will keep you up to date with everything that's going on. We have got you covered. But that is everything from us today. We'll be back after qualifying and as well after the race.
We
Nice
will be
early.
back tomorrow as well.
And we'll be
F1
back tomorrow.
Academy. F1
F1
Academy will be doing its finale this week. So We will be doing a special episode on that one.
I will check my calendar. But thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.
Somewhere.
At some
Bye.
point.